So I'm here to give testimony about what happened when I was arrested in Italy in 2001 in Genoa at the event surrounding the G8 summit. I was walking down the street together with my girlfriend at the time, and we walked by some police vans that were parked on the side of the curb, and we were talking to each other leisurely. It was some days after the protest had taken place, which we also had been part of. And the policemen, they came up to us, and they asked to see our papers, and we showed them our papers, and we didn't understand much of the situation, as they were talking in Italian and we didn't comprehend that language. They decided to bring us with them, so we were led to the back of the policeman, and we were placed in the back on the floor of a van, and they were seated in a U formation around us, and we started driving, and after a while, I can say it was a friendly atmosphere in the van. After a while we stopped, the police pulled over, and one of the policemen went out, and he came back to the vehicle with a black iron rod in his hands, about this size, 60 centimeters. And we started driving, and they tried giving me this iron rod, and I didn't want it. And then as I was sitting there on the floor, they started to try to bend up my fingers, and I realized that they wanted to put my fingerprints on this iron rod, and I refused and held back with my body, and they weren't able to. And we kept on driving. We made a stop, and we were at the police station. And there, me and my girlfriend at the time were led into a room where we were placed on our knees, eyes facing the wall, and our hands interlaced behind our necks like this. And they started beating us with sticks and feet and so on. And this went on. With them leaving us for times and coming back in. We never saw the policeman or whoever it was. At some point I was shown a paper and asked to sign it, all in Italian, and I was also asked in Italian, and I refused as well. And the beating went on. On the floor in front of us were teeth and blood and broken glasses, and things like this. And we were talking, me and my girlfriend, while they left us. And we came to the belief that we were going to die in there. So we said goodbye, I love you, and yeah, this is it. It went on, and we kept thinking about what it could be that they wanted, what to give to make it cease, or how to get onward from this situation, and I started thinking that what they wanted to do was to break us down, to make us cry. So I suggested to try that. Let's just break down and start crying and see what happens. And it worked. They were happy and they stopped. And then we were put in a car, and we were driven to a place called Bolzaneto, which is a station for the Italian Carabinieri police. It was nighttime, it was dark, up on a hill, and we were led to the door, to the entrance of the building. And there it was a long corridor with policemen standing on both sides. And as we walked down the corridor, we were beaten and intimidated and scared by the ones standing on the side. We were led into a room with several other people, a dark room, where people were standing with their hands against the wall. And we were put to stand up with our legs spread out and our hands on the wall, looking into the wall. And if we would not hold this pose, then they would beat us. So as we were getting tired and our arms were falling down, our legs were collapsing, we were beaten to make stand up again. There was almost no light in the room. There was a small window in the left corner from where I was standing. And I don't know how long we were in that room. I have no idea. It could have been days. I was taken to a doctor at some point, and he wasn't the most caring doctor around. Had piercing at the time. I remember he pulled them out, and was generally intimidating person. There were beatings and cryings around, and we were led out in groups out of the building and into another building which had been set up. And there it was very bright light, people dressed as doctors in white robes, and we were taken around to different stations where different data was collected. I remember my eyes got scanned, fingerprints were taken, they took pictures of tattoos. After a long time of sleep deprivation, so this is fragmental memories to me. We were then transported away from this place. Was put on a bus, handcuffed to the person next to me, and driven to a prison. We were put in cells, 4 people in my cell, me and 3 others. And there I passed out. It was the first time to relax. It was a bus with cells, so I was in a cell with this other guy. We were driven to prison, and there the prison guards welcomed us with some violence as well. So we were taken out of the bus, and yeah, as I said, we were put in cells with 4 people, bunk beds, in a corridor, and we talked a bit, I remember, and in the afternoon or the evening of that day, the prison guards entered our cell and they moved the bunk beds, these metal beds, and put them in front of the window, so the window couldn't be open. And they went out and they put gas masks on, and then tear gas canisters were fired in the prison. So the corridor and the cells were filled with tear gas. And we struggled to move the metal bed so that we could open the window and get some air again. And I was there for a couple of days as well. My embassy came to visit me, and they saw that the conditions weren't good, but it was maybe, I don't know if they could do anything, but they just came there to visit and explain a bit what was going on. I was released from prison, and I was later charged with leading a group of people that attacked this first group of policemen that arrested us. And that I led the group, and that I attacked them with this iron rod. And yeah, completely false. But still, I was expelled from Italy for 2 years. And I also went to testify in the trial against the police surrounding these events on Bolzaneto, the Carabinieri station. And yeah. This is somewhat behind me now. For a while I was very uncomfortable with people in uniform, would it be in any country. I would cross the street if police were approaching on the same side, and yeah, it took a while, but I came to peace with this, and I hold nothing against these individuals that exercised violence on me. It's understood. And yeah, that's my testimony. Feel free to contact me if you have any questions. I'll drop my email as well below. And thank you for listening.